social media platforms. And in today's video, I'm going to be covering habits, processes, and systems. So for some of you who don't know, I'm currently creating a series where I'm talking and sharing my journey with you guys to the journey of 1 million. So of course you see and you hear a lot of people talk about making your first 4 figures, 5, 6, and 7 figures in a year. Obviously my goal is to make 7 figures. Not only that, I'm going to be helping at least 10,000 people within this year. Of course, I'm bringing you guys with me as I take this journey. So there's been a few things that I've been discussing with you guys that are options that are available for me. You can look in my previous videos, which you can see here, or just click the link. One of the 2 options are going to be there. Today I ended up prospecting. There's a young lady, she's looking for counseling as well as consulting. She wants to create a retail business and she's looking for mentorship. She's looking for somebody who would be able to help her with from the ground up, just understanding business context, how to build and create a business plan. She also wants to learn the actual legislation part of it, which is like law documents, what legal things you have to have, HST, GST, financials, what a business basis financially would look like, and what are some of the accounts that somebody would have, as well as marketing, brand ambassadorship, etc. So she definitely reached out to me and she was asking me if I offer these things, and I told her I do. I could give her the best that I know. Of course, I am not an expert, but I'm giving her and I'm willing to share that information with her. Sit down and have that time. Of course, there are many resources that are available for someone like herself who's looking to build entrepreneur skills as well as establish their own retail store. So not only is she going to be doing just the product development in the sense of creating the sketches and finding the different pieces, fabrics, etc. She's also looking to sell them as well. So, and find a different way to distribute it. So she's gonna be currently doing everything in-house until she's able to maximize and scale her business to be something significantly more. As I said, if you are somebody who is looking to expand, if you're looking into entrepreneurship, you're looking to do brand awareness, maybe business development, etc., learn with me. So I will do all the mistakes that you don't have to. Basically in this video, I'm going to be covering habits, processes, and systems, and just diving deep into what those 3 concepts are across social media about, like, if you want to be successful, you need to acquire the habits of successful people. You know, if you are looking to be an entrepreneur, there are some processes that you have to do. As well as if you're running your business, there are probably, like, you'll probably come across 5 tips to have a better business system. So I'm just going to explain to you from my understanding of what these 3 things are. First thing off, habits. First things first, there could be good and there could be bad habits. And we choose whether or not we're going to engage in good habits or bad habits. Now, habits can feed us, they can benefit us, they can inspire us, but they can also be our downfall. But for me, my biggest understanding when it comes to habits are created after repetition. These are things that we constantly do and get to a point where it is subconscious. So for example, you want to have a healthier diet, then picking junk food is not going to be the option that you want to pick. However, if that is something that you've habitually done over the years, you're so used to having junk food or fast food or takeout or whatnot, that then adopting a habit of home cooked meals, grocery shopping, and cooking your meals, it's going to be an unfamiliar habit. So these are the things that we do that will help us gravitate to making more money. So prime example, one thing that I was listening to earlier today was the reason why you're not attracting the money that you're looking for is because you're not talking in a way that is inviting money. One thing that I do have to change in my habits, speaking positively and having more positive mantras when talking about money or finances or when manifesting the type of business that I'm looking for. So these are things that I have to work on myself, and when caught in a situation, not to be pessimistic, but more optimistic when dealing with situations and scenarios. when you continuously repeat that behavior, it then becomes a habit. You no longer have to think about it, you just do it. There are a lot of good habits that are for success, especially if you're trying to make 4, 5, 6 figures. And I'm going to list some of those habits on the side here so you can see. And again, this is not a hard cut, cookie cutter list. There are probably things that I'm missing in this list as well, but can be available to you. So process to me, and of course these are my definitions, but I could also put up the definitions of what process is. But to me, the process is basically the series of steps it takes to complete a task. We always hear the phrase of like, you know, there's always the end point, but you should enjoy the journey or enjoy the process. We have the beginning and we have the end, and the process is literally all the steps in between. To be familiar with the process is very important, as well as loving the process. Yes, there's going to be times where it's up and down. Yes, there are going to be things that are going to be frustrating. Yes, you're going to go through so many hardships and probably lose a little bit and maybe gain a lot. But you learn so much. And one of the biggest things that are a great takeaway is the actual lessons that you learn in the process, because there are some things that you just have to face in order for you to learn. Sometimes you can observe somebody and they go through it, but then that's their journey, and those are the things that they went through in order for them to get that. You sometimes cannot replicate what they have done because you're a different person and you have to do it differently. Whatever the process may be, enjoy it. Enjoy it to its fullest. Just definitely try to enjoy it. I definitely, so far, I'm going into this week 6 now, and I'm going to be very honest, I have not made a thing. So being that week 6, I still haven't made anything. However, I have had a lot of prospects or prospecting in opportunities come about. That is what matters. It may end up snowballing, and then later on I'm making what I need to make. I still have to go through providing different things, creating and going through my game plan, which you guys are going to also be coming along with me to really build this up. So the third thing we're going to talk about is systems. System to me is a series of processes formulated to solve a problem. It is the addition of all these processes that allows you to get from point A to point B, and it's a consistent pattern that gets you the result every single time. And that's what a system is. It is the guarantee way of getting this task or this problem resolved. Now, as much as I say it's a problem, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a problem, but it's just to create a solution. And that's what a system is. Now, the best way for me to make this make sense. So when you are going to bed, there's a series of things that you would have to do prior to actually going into bed. And this can vary for different people, but say for example, your triggered is the time. So you have a bedtime of 10 p.m. That right there engages your nighttime routine. And your nighttime routine is the system. So what you do is that, okay, 10 o'clock, you start to clean up everything. Maybe you give yourself 30 minutes to clean up everything that you just did. Dishes, whatever, clear the table, whatever you were last doing, your last activity. From there, maybe you shower, brush your teeth, you play your favorite music, you know, and then you write in your journal 15 minutes, or you read a book. Maybe you light a candle, or maybe you put on Essence, or maybe you have music running in the background, and then you're in bed. That's it. So those series of activities each part had its own process, right? The cleaning up prior to, this is a process. Getting into the shower and running your bath, or is a series of activities to finish and complete that task. So that's a process. Then your wind down is another series of actions, or your process for you to complete that task. But the entire motion of it is to get your night routine done. And every time you're getting your night routine done, this is the pattern that you're going to be consistently following, and it's going to always get you into bed. You're going to feel refreshed, you're going to feel great, you're going to feel tired, and you feel amazing. And you solve the problem in a sense of getting prepared for bedtime. That is a system. And for me, I have to now create more systems. So not only do I have to create systems that are business oriented, but I have to also create more personal systems. That is very important. Your personal systems affect your business systems. And if you're unable to manage these ones, guess what? It's going to be very difficult to manage these as well. So sometimes the tasks and the processes of your business may be a lot easier to deal with or manage and whatnot. But if they are constantly bombarded or challenged because of your personal life, that's how it works, right? Each hand is supposed to help and feed each other. I've come to terms with the fact that my process needs an overhaul, and I definitely need to sit down and really take some time to break down what I do. You can have habits, processes, and systems all built in different ways for different relationships, but you want to make sure that it's very consistent across the board, because again, this is going to affect you. For me, I know for sure that one of the biggest things that I have an issue is my chores. When is the right time for me to do my chores? So talking to my partner, we've had conversations about this, and he had given me a blueprint of little things I can do throughout the week that will help minimize the amount of time spent when doing a chore overhaul. So all of that is something that's important, and that's my personal life. When it comes to the activities of my business, I know how to run my photography business like the back of my hand. I know what it is to get a client, send an invoice, charge them based on what their project is, going out into the field, getting it done, taking their images, consulting with them, and then following up with the edit to sending it off and delivering the final product. That is not a problem for me. I get that process. I understand it. That system has worked for me. There's other things that can add weight to your whole process that may feel like it's delaying you or holding you back. Take some time to actually review what's going on in your life and see what is actually working best for you or not. What things do you need to add and what do you need to subtract? I've been working on getting all the things that I need to have done, and the steps. I've written it all down, and moving forward, what I'm going to continue to do. One of the biggest things I said to myself for this year, for 2024, was that I'm not going to be going out as much recreationally as I used to, because one, to save money, and two, to also continue to focus, align myself, and be more disciplined in what I'm doing right now. I recognize that if it's not going to be something that's conducive to the betterment of, say, for example, ballroom scene or getting paid to be a performer or anything like that, if it's not aligning with any of those things, there is no real reason for me to be outside than to just break loose. And again, it's not to say that I'm not going to be outside at all, but I'm just going to be reducing the amount of activity I do recreationally. But if you liked what you saw in today's video, and if you feel like you learned something, took away some gems, found anything pretty interesting, or you just want to continue to watch this entire journey, by all means hit the subscribe button as well, like the video, just so I know that you actually like the content. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I am very much active. If you have any questions in regards to business or anything like that, as the more questions that I see come in, I'm going to try and cover that as much as possible. For the next 2 weeks, I'm probably going to do 2 products, and we're going to go from there. And I'm also going to be doing my marketing for my photography business, which is Triple Z Studio. And again, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on all my social media platforms. There I do all the stuff. So as you guys know, this is a year for marketing, a year for business, and a year for getting that 7 figures. So hope to see and hear from you guys pretty soon. And